Hello everybody, welcome back. We had some changes regarding the 3.0 release date. The 3.0 production schedule report was updated a couple of days ago, and we can safely say that this is the first actual delay for the 3.0 patch since the first time its aim date of June 29th was revealed. We had another change before a couple of weeks ago, but this was more like stretching out the release date from one single day into a period of 1 week from June 29th until July 13th. But now, since every date related with this very important patch for Star Citizen has changed, everything has moved back 1 week, we can say that this is an official delay for this important milestone for Star Citizen. So we have new dates, not only for the aim date for the 3.0 update on the live server, but also for the Evocati PTU, which is now planned from June 12th to June 22nd, and the White PTU, which is now planned from June 23rd to July 5th. So the new aim dates, the new aim period for a release for the 3.0 update, this huge milestone for Star Citizen, is July 6th to July 20th. By taking a good look at the production schedule report, we can very clearly see that the reason for this delay is the persistent universe content, and more specifically, Delamar and Levski. We have discussed before about the importance of these two locations for the 3.0 update. We have discussed how important it will be for properly testing the universe, the expanding persistent universe, and that it has to be in there. Delamar and its landing zone Levski has to be in this new upcoming update to not only increase the variety, to not only give us more features and more locations to explore, but help us properly test these features and of course help the developers fix any bugs, deal with any issues that will arise. Some weeks ago, when we had the first change on the production schedule report, when the date moved from a single day, June 29th, to a period of a week, we had mentioned that this is probably in order to give to the developers necessary time so they can test everything, they can implement everything properly and give us the best possible update. Apparently this is the reality, this is true, and we will have to wait 1 extra week until July 20th to hopefully see Delamar and Levski added along with the 3 moons around Crusader in the 3.0 update. Obviously, it's never good to hear that your favorite project, your favorite game has been delayed, but we can understand how important it is for the success of Star Citizen. And by watching and hearing all the latest news regarding the development of Star Citizen by the developers themselves every week, we can see why it might take a bit longer than expected, a bit longer than originally planned. There are so many details, there are so many great and little details that have to work according to plan, that have to work properly, that have to be implemented properly in order to make everything else work properly, in order to make the world of Star Citizen feel alive and unique. And we are not only talking about the vessels, the starships of Star Citizen, or the planets themselves, or the planetary landings. We're talking about features like the player interaction system we have seen already, the item 2.0, traveling around the persistent universe and experiencing the first professions of Star Citizen for the first time. Everything has to be done properly, everything has to be perfect. And thinking of this, it makes the waiting a bit less painful, and I think 1 week will pass very fast if we know that in the end we will have an amazing project, an amazing product on our hands. We have more news discussed today that will have an impact on the 3.0 update and how fast we will get this update on our hands, and I'm talking about the steady progress that the developers are doing with the item 2.0 in the player interaction system. We have seen in the latest round of verse that the developers have fully converted the M50 to the new item 2.0 system, and it is now working with this system. We can utilize this amazing tool in order to not only get inside our M50 but also make all the preparations in order to take off and travel around the small corner of the standard system that we will have available to us when 3.0 will go live. It seems like a tiny change, but it is actually huge, and all the multifunction displays will have to work properly with this new Item 2.0 system and the player interaction system, and eventually all the ships of Star Citizen will be fully converted into the Item 2.0 system. I really don't know how many of these vessels, how many of the fly-ready ships will be fully converted by the time we get the 3.0 update, but the more, the better. Another great change that may sound as small at first when you first hear it, but it is actually huge, is the balance to power usage, to heat generation, to the signatures of the vessels and the fuel consumptions that the developers have made to the game. This will not only make the gameplay much better, more realistic, but it will also give the incentive to players, will give us the incentive to always upgrade our vessels, to always upgrade the equipment of our vessels and try to have the best for every possible situation, the best depending on what we are trying to achieve. Another great addition that will definitely change 3.0 and Star Citizen as we know it is the ability to park ships inside other ships. For example, it will be able to park easily a Dragonfly or an Ursa rover inside your constellation Andromeda or inside a Freelancer. And this is going to happen by treating the interior of a ship as a docking pad, as a landing pad. It is a feature that will work based on a rework of the landing mechanic that is currently in game, and will greatly enhance our experience in Star Citizen, especially with the planetary landings coming and the necessity to have some vessels that will be able to carry an Ursa rover or a Dragonfly, so we can perform some ground exploration properly. The highlight this week was lighting and fog, how important good lighting is for creating great aesthetics, feelings, a proper mood, a certain mood into an area, and of course altering the mood. The developers with proper lighting will be able to tell a story to make a place feel warm and happy, or change it into cold and hostile and make us feel like we are threatened. In order to achieve this balance, the scale of lighting will have to be perfect. And from what we have seen, from what the developers continue showing us, the lighting seems perfect. You need to have good realistic light sources, and in Star Citizen system, the sun is going to be powerful, a powerful light source, and we will be able to tell the difference from when exiting an indoors area, an outpost for example, to the outdoors area. It will be clear that the sun at every system is the power that lights and moves the universe. By creating a good and realistic lighting system, the developers are trying to give to each area, to each level, its own unique character, its own vibe, and of course let us know what is going on around, where we are at any given moment, and if there is any risk nearby. Another important tool that will help create a unique atmosphere is of course having a good and realistic fog, and the developers are working on a dynamic fog system that will react to lighting better than the fog we have right now, and it will be possible to tell where lights are coming from. It will be possible to create many interesting situations that will find a lot of use aboard derelict ships, for example. It will be easier to think there is something stalking you. It will create an amazing feeling of being chased, and an amazing feeling when exploring derelict vessels, when exploring abandoned space stations, and in general when you are entering an area with fog. This new technology that is called lit fog technology will replace, this dynamic fog will replace the fog that we have right now in game, and will simply make the game a lot better, will simply make the game a lot spookier when you are in the wrong place. The combination of lighting in this new lit fog system will improve the atmosphere of an area, will make the air feel thicker, and it will make it feel like you're actually in space. And this is going to be a expanding. This system is going to be expanded into areas of the persistent universe, into areas of the star citizen universe. For example, they have mentioned on asteroid belts, which are full of ice and dust particles. So just imagine what this new technology can do if we get out of a small room, if we get out of a derelict vessel and enter a huge, a very big area of space with asteroid belts and fogs around, making you feel that you are always being watched. Proper lighting is going to be very important for Star Citizen, is what will make the world of Star Citizen feel alive, a breathing, living universe, and lighting, proper lighting, is what makes the elements of an environment feel cohesive. Lighting and fog used properly can create tense and of course many interesting situations. Let's not also forget the latest addition to the Star Citizen universe, which is the Aegis Eclipse, a quite interesting stealth bomber that is available for purchase right now. The sale will go on until June 2nd, and I think it is going to be a quite nice addition to your fleet if you have an organization, a group of friends supporting you, and if you want to play like a stealth hunter, following your prey and waiting for the right moment to hit with your torpedoes. These are all the news we had from this week. These are all the news I'm going to share with you today. Obviously, the number one news is the delay, the official delay, the first official delay for the 3.0 release date. It has been moved back 1 week, so we should be expecting 3.0 to be released on the live server at around July 6th to July 28th. It's not a big deal, to be honest. Watching all the great news that the developers are sharing with us every week is making it easy to understand how amazing this universe is going to be when we get on our hands. So although it's kind of painful waiting for the 3.0 update and having to wait 1 more week, I think the result is going to be amazing. Like always, I would love to hear what you think about this delay, this slight delay of 1 week for the release date, and of course about all the other news that we have talked today, the lighting and fog system. How much do you think will affect your gameplay? How much do you think will scare you in the verse when you will be exploring a derelict vessel? Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove and I will see you around the verse. Bye bye.